This is a short video to explain how to document your sources in your argument papers. The official name of the format we're using is called MLA for the Modern Language Association. It has rules about how to put your name and page number in the top right corner of each page, a proper heading that includes your date, teacher's name, name of the course, and the date the paper is due, the title centered above the essay, but in the same font and size as the rest. And then you can see the whole essay is double spaced with a 1-inch margin around it. So for inside the text, when you're referring to a source, let's say you have an article and the author of the article whose information you used is Besthoff, you simply have it in parentheses with the name inside the parentheses and then the punctuation after the parentheses. So that's simply how you do your in-text citations. Sometimes you might say the source in the sentence in a signal phrase in a survey published by Farmers Insurance Group. And then you have your information, so you don't need a citation after it because you already said the name of the author. In that case, the author wasn't a person. If you have a very long quote that's more than 3 lines long, you're supposed to double indent the whole thing. There's no quotation mark before or after it, but simply a period and then the page number, and this, or the author. In this case, the author was stated before the quote, so it didn't need to be stated at the end. They just had the page number. For most online sources, you don't have page numbers, however. Here's another example where there's a signal phrase, John Mem Violanti from RIT. So they had all the information from that author, page number at the end, in parentheses, the period. Again, you probably won't need this very often because most of you are using online sources and don't have page numbers. Here's a simple example of an in-text citation. This is the author's last name. There is no page number. What if you don't have an author's last name? In that case, as you'll see here, you write information from source and then the first main word of the title, or the first few words of the title if it's a long title, instead of an author's name. So the in-text citations are simple: parentheses, last name of author, possibly a page number, or just the first main or few words of the title if you do not have an author. The next important part is the works cited page, and we're going to try to keep that as simple as possible. If you see here, typically it's the last name, first name of the author, the title of the web page or article in quotes, the title of the web page, the name of the publisher. The web page title and publisher is often the same thing. Then the day, month, year that it was published, and then the URL. So here is an example of that. The author, the title of the web page in parentheses, in quotation marks, not underlined or italicized or anything, just in quotes. Then the title of the web page, it should be italicized. Here it's underlined. The date, there's actually 2 dates here. The first date is the date it was posted. The second date was the date that it was looked at for research. And then the URL, with a period at the end, okay? So let me give an example from one of my sources. So here's my information. I will put it here so I can turn it into a citation, if it will let me. Okay, so here's my information. I'll start with my author. The last name, Doken Morgan Tony, period. How often, capitalize the words in the title, do people lie, question mark. Then the website title, Currents, University of Wisconsin blog. And then 17 November 2021. And then the URL, which I don't have available. I'd have to Google it really quick, so I'm just going to write something.org. but you would need to look that up. And there is my entire citation properly formatted. That would go on a page called Works Cited at the end of my paper. It should be centered and not italicized or anything like that, right above my text. And then these go in alphabetical order, and they should be double spaced. Each citation should be laid out like that. This is called hanging indent, where the second line is indented, tabbed in, and the first line is actually all the way to the left. That's how you format your Works Cited.